Oh, hey, you guys are here. How you doing? Welcome back to Landing Custom Classics. Got a little project that I was going to work on here. Been going to get to this one for a long time, but as you can see, it's missing a pole starter. And you can imagine this saw is a little old and heavy. This was my grandfather's. And I want to get it back to running like new. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find a pole starter. And where would you find a pole starter like this? Well, I just happen to know a guy on YouTube that lives right down the road, and he's a chainsaw guy. And I figured he'd think it was cool, so I sent him a picture of this old sucker, and he goes, huh, check out this picture of this one I got. This is an old part saw I fixed up, I've picked up. It's locked up tight. Somebody most likely didn't mix the oil right, because these old ones, they mostly they use twice as much oil as your new ones. Your new ones use 40 to 1, 50 to 1. Most of these run 20 to 1 or more oil than that. So you really got to do some, I think they even go down to 16 to 1. But you're using a lot more oil versus your gas, about 2-3 times more oil. But yeah, he hooked me up with this awesome saw here, and I was going to see if we can get this apart. And looks like I might have to remove the whole cover, because it seems like these have nuts on the back of them or something. They're not turning, but I was going to try to do that on my video. We'll see. If it's not popping out, then we'll probably just wait till later to do the repair video on this, because it's going to take me a good while to get that done. But I got the saw, I got the carburetor. That's an awesome extra piece to have. This air filter is so hardened you almost can't even bend it. Mine's pretty hard too, but we'll oil them up and take some K&N cleaner to them, see what we can do. But yeah, I'd like to give a big shout out to my good buddy John Hudson for hooking this up. We've got a big actually pump for the oil. These weren't auto oilers. Yeah, I'll put a link in there for John Hudson. You guys go show his channel some love. He's a small YouTuber, lives right here, makes knives, does all kinds of cool stuff. Usually does a weekly chainsaw video. Really great guy. He come over, we finally met in person, and we just sit and BS'd, and I gave him a few old part saws I had laying around to add to his collection. Some of the bars he's going to try to make some knives out of. At least one of the ones I give him has a non-riveted solid metal bar, and it was a great big bar, so he can make him some cool knives out of that. The metal is so hard, you just shape them, cut them out and everything. Build you a real nice knife that'll hold a hell of an edge on it. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have to do this another day probably, because those are spinning. I don't know, we might tear it down some, see how hard it is here. It looks like we're already missing some bolts, so we'll see how far we can get into it on this video. But here real soon, I want to get this baby running for my grandpa, you know. I lost my grandpa 8 years ago next month. He actually died October 25th, the day after my birthday. I went and spent my birthday with him. He was like my favorite person in the whole world. We hung out all the time and talked. And then my mom, she actually got sick that day. Turned out that her medication killed her liver. And October 22nd, the next year, which is 2 days before my birthday, on my baby sister's birthday, I lost my mom. So, kind of a bad time of year for me. But yeah, they had a bunch of this pulled apart, so let's see if we can get that pole starter out of there. And that'll be our first step toward getting Grandpa's old chainsaw to run. But yeah, I'm going to dedicate this video to my good friend John Hudson. Hopefully we can help him out with building his channel. Looks like you got to pry out on this a little, because these nuts slip out. They have a little keeper on there, but they slip out of it. But yeah, it can't express how much it means to have a guy just offer to give you the parts to fix something like this. It means a lot to you, and come from your grandpa, you know. I was just cutting something with my knife. I don't know what I did with it. But anyway, get this last one. Pry a nut out of there. This last one, I don't know. In there, I might have to see if I can get a socket on the other end of it. Looks like a 9, possibly 10 mm. Little 4-inch suckers. All their millimeters. Let's see, we got a pair of pliers hanging up here on the magnet. The universal nut grabber. That's what I used to call my little brother. Yeah, we'll get this cleaned up, greased up, worked over, make sure everything's working proper. And then thanks to John, we'll get Grandpa's saw working. Oh, the one was in here. Okay, got that nut. We'll get this other nut with the pliers. That one nut doesn't want to let go. Anyway, we'll get it out of there. We'll get a blade here or something, pry under it. Got my hair trimmers here. Pretty sure they're for grass or something, but I use them for whatever I need to use them for. There you go. Broke it loose out of the grease there. There we got all our nuts and bolts. Speaking of nuts, we'll fix somebody. There we go. So, you got a little tool knife up here. There's a little, put this on different nuts and bolts and stuff. Twist them out with a knife. Yeah, I think that's all we're going to do for tonight, because we're going to break this down. I'm out of brake cleaner. I need some brake cleaner to knock all the old grease out of this. See how slow that's going back. The spring's kind of locked up with the old grease. Might even get some yellow paint. Don't know if we have any in here. Might get some cat yellow implement paint. Repaint it some. Get some brake cleaner. Spray all this old grease off there and everything. Like I say, spray the old grease out of this here. Undo the screws here, pull this apart. We'll clean that whole spring out really good with brake cleaner. Then we'll put some new good grease in there. Make this baby work good. It's even just working, it's getting better. Yeah, you hit that with some good brake cleaner to take all the gum out of the spring. They have a spring, I'll show you, if you're not familiar with motors. It has a spring like this that coils up in there. Most of y'all have probably never seen one that mean. This is actually a screen, or a spring out of an old gramophone. I actually have the motor here that I did a video and rebuilt. Only one I've ever done in my life, but I figured it out. So we'll get this pull rope going good. We'll get her assembled on here. Then we'll put a little gas in this baby and fire her up. Just for old Grandpa. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please go check out my good friend John Hudson. Give him some views. Hit him up with some new subscribers. Tell him how much we appreciate our friends. And like I say, he's a member of our family here. You guys are all a member of my family. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.